Everybody, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Welcome. This is Sean. I do sneakers, I do travel, and everything in between. This is our performance review of the New Balance OMN1S basketball sneaker. So we got these a few days ago, and I finally got to play in them. And I'll tell you, man, it feels like this is a match made in heaven. I'm not kidding. I feel like they're made for me. They're made for my feet. They're made for my style of play. And I don't want to sound like I'm overly patronizing New Balance, because it's no secret that I'm a New Balance nut. I'm a New Balance head, if you will. I love the brand, and the sneaker just happens to be a sneaker that works for me. I'll explain that in more detail as we get on with the episode, but one of the first things you need to know about the OMN1S is that it's a basic sneaker. Look at the shape. That's a basic shape. It's a $140 sneaker, and they do look and feel like they're $140. It's not. I'm not dissing the quality, because for $140, think of the Kyries, think of the Freak ones, right? You have those sneakers. You have the budget Adidas sneakers. But this is a $140 sneaker that I believe is a cut above the rest because of the novelty, number one. Number two, Kawhi Leonard wears them. And number three, it's basic and it did away with the bells and whistles. No metal eyelets, no leather components, no TPU panels, no plastic straps, nothing, no fancy fuse overlays. It's your basic foam, mesh upper, simple lacing system. I could go on and on. Alright, so this is how we're gonna do our performance review, like we've always done it. We're gonna do the three main components that matter to me: containment, traction, and impact protection. Let's go. Hey, before we proceed, I'd like for you to watch the unboxing and commentary episode of these sneakers if you haven't yet. In that episode, we talked about the details, we discussed the nuts and bolts, because they might help you in watching the performance review if you're still on the fence about buying the sneakers, if you're in for the aesthetics, if you're in for the innovation. Do watch that episode, then come back to this episode, okay? So we're gonna do containment first. Containment is my priority. If there's one thing that I look for in performance sneakers, it is containment, and I can forget about everything else, right? Containment, they did the job. As I said, this has the perfect basic shape for me. It hugged my foot, but it didn't constrict it to the point of pain, you know what I mean? And toe box height is usually the problem with sneakers, with basketball sneakers. Sometimes you'll have to double up on socks. With these sneakers, I just wore a single layer of socks, and my toes were kept in place. No jiggling there, no foot slippage in the footbed. I love it. So my feet were intact. They were kept in place. I did my laterals. I did my sprints, and my foot was well contained. I love it. I'd like to point out one thing though when it comes to containment. See this ankle part over here? That's a hard component, and it's supposed to serve as an ankle lock mechanism, right? This thing is hard, and over here it gets thin, almost razor thin, so it's kind of like a blade, right? My point is, although I did not experience it, do not wear no-show socks when playing in these sneakers, because there's a possibility that this part or this part on the medial side might brush against your skin and it might hurt you. Let us now get to traction, and pardon the very yellow atmosphere because the sun is setting on my right. We have a window right here, hashtag no filter. So traction, look at that, guys. Herringbone pattern, multi-directional herringbone pattern, simple, straightforward. And one of the best things about the outsole is that the outsole extends up to here, right? It forms almost half of the midsole, right, in the medial side of the sneaker. So changing direction, see that movement? Changing direction was easy. You know, I'm not the quickest out there, but I'm relatively quicker than others because I'm a guard. And these did the job, man. They bit the floor. They were squeaky. I love it. And before we proceed to our final performance category, which is impact protection or cushioning, I'd like to remind you that this performance review is 100% personal, it's 100% experiential. My experience may not necessarily apply to you. Feet are different, playing styles are different, strides are different, you get the picture. Okay, impact protection. These sneakers did the job. How else would I describe it? I'm not gonna give you words like they were squishy, they were ultra responsive, none of that. I did tell you that this is a basic sneaker. It sits on fuel cell. It's foam. It's a foam technology. It's a proprietary foam technology within New Balance. They use fuel cell on their high performance running sneakers. And it's no wonder that they're using this here on their first attempt to re-enter the basketball scene. Simple, no nonsense. This, by the way, has it has some kind of stabilizer system built into the midsole. Go look at pictures, get on Google, and look at the white and toast colorway, because those have clear outsoles. You're going to see a fork-like torsion bar here somewhere, which aids, of course, in stability. Aside from that, no fancy stuff going on the midsole, right? It's foam. It did the job. Not overly squishy, not too hard. They're just right. Perfect for me. Hey Box bro, first impressions?
It's a really nice shoe, man. Premium materials. I love the foam.
Yep, fuel cell.
Fuel cell, so it's like my brand black. But it seems very sturdy.
Yep.
Looks prettier than the pictures.
Definitely. No nonsense, right?
Smells new.
Well, one game in, not bad. Alright, that's it for the performance review. These sneakers are $140, but good luck in finding a pair that goes for that price. The Omnis runs true to size, at least for me, at least for this colorway also, because the other colorways may be constructed a little differently, so the best way to go about buying these sneakers is to get to a store if you have the chance and try them on, okay? And that's all the time we have for this episode. Do you have an Omnis? What is your experience playing in them? Is it similar to mine? Let me know in the comments. And if you don't own a pair, are you interested in getting a pair? Let me know, alright? Before we go, I'd like to remind you that your value as a person is not measured by what's on your feet. Be kind. That's more important than sneakers. I'll see you next time.